good to have kind of Domas back in there a little bit and see him back at practice?
Yeah, shoot. He was out there doing his playing against a guy, so his hamstring must be feeling better. But I told him just don't rush it. You don't want that thing to linger, especially not the time of year we are at now. So whatever time he needs to come back, but he looks pretty good.
JV's also obviously filled in very nicely. But where do you feel like Domas' presence has missed the most?
I mean, just the type player he is, from rebounding, communication, connecting. You know, Domas does, everything. And he's done a lot for this team even before I got here. So I know JV will be happy he only got to play 17 straight minutes.
Was it easy to flush that last one?
I think we just ran to a team that just came off of 3 losses, sitting here waiting for us. We just got off a tough loss, against the Clippers. Obviously, you want to go out there and win those games, but they jumped on us early and we weren't able to fight back. So, got to look forward to the next one. We're not going to get it back.
For you, how different is it to bounce back and forth between Valanciunas and Sabonis? Just the way they set screens, the way they, the DHO game versus a conventional pick.
They got 2 different games, but I think it's good for us because we have two different styles of basketball we can play. The JV, obviously, he can set some big screens and he likes to roll. He still does handoffs, but Domas is such a good passer, you won't have the ball in his hands. So it's good to be able to, get easy shots without having to create yourself.
As you continue to try to mesh with this group, do you feel like there's an identity or thing that you guys want to try and do well night to night?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to be the harder playing team every night. I think that's going to be the main thing for us going forward. Defensively, we've been really good over the last, pretty much since All-Star break, but just being the harder playing team, I think defense will help us get easier shots offensively.
Outside of that effort, what do you think has led to that defensive growth?
I think we got a lot better connecting and communicating. Obviously, the practice time and really just having to figure it out on the run. I think it boosts guys to really lock in each and every possession. So it's been good, but the guys have been giving effort. We're going to need a lot more of that going forward.
Is there anything you've noticed here that's different with your role compared to some of your other stops?
No, you can compare this one to Chicago. Obviously, when I was in Minnesota, I was 19, 20, 21, so, I mean, it's not even comparable. But, here, just, pretty much the same thing. Be one of the leaders out there, a guy you can look for, obviously, on the offensive end on any given possession or any night. And then try to figure out your way if it's, any given day, if it's got to be playmaking, if it got to be defensive, if it has to be, communicating, just helping the team find a way to win. But my role has been pretty much the same, is guys want me to go out there and make sure I'm aggressive first.
When you go back and look at film, maybe aside from the win, is there anything you hyper-focus on, win or loss, in your own game?
Just how you play, the effort you give. I think, shots will fall or not fall, but, it's taking the right shots. Were you aggressive going into the game? Teams are going to defend you differently, taking what the defense gives you. I think that's the things I look for. But, after you play or after you win or lose, that game's over with. So you got to pretty much move on pretty fast. I think I've done a good job with that.
Have you been satisfied with that aggressiveness on your end, or is it something you still have to try to work through?
No, I think it's been good. The games that we won, even some of the games that we've lost, I think it's been fine. I've been reading the game well.
Outside of the Knicks game, you were rolling 30 points a game, a couple of games there in a row. Just how comfortable are you feeling with this group and in this offense?
It feels good. Even the Knicks game, I think we just didn't play well as a team. I felt good, especially offensively. I think I shot 50% from 3 and from the field, so it felt fine for me. It was just a tough loss, but I've been feeling good. I've been feeling good the whole year. It's not just been from here. I felt good pretty much the whole year. So just continue to trust my work and keep going out there and do what I do.
And with the Warriors, just obviously they got Jimmy Bat in there. Just how do you look at them as an opponent going forward and what the challenge they have?
I mean, they've been hot. I think they're 9-1 their last 10. The team that's ahead of us in the standings right now, we got to find out a way to go at them. They just beat us at home. And from what I understand now, Sacramento, it's a pretty close rivalry. So we'll be ready.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
How would you feel like things are going since coming off the last game? A little disappointment, obviously, in the Knicks.
I mean, we just gotta bounce back tomorrow. Just gotta bounce back. That's all it's about. it's a tough game. Never want to lose that way. But it happened. It happened. Now we got to move on and, just respond tomorrow.
I feel like the biggest lesson is in that. I know you guys don't use any excuses of 3 games in 4 nights, but
it's just one of those things happens, and it's all about how you respond from it and not let it snowball from losing a game like that. The quicker we can bounce back tomorrow, we put that last loss behind us and, continue to move forward.
The last half of the schedule looks a lot like that. A lot of back-to-backs, a lot of tough games. Just how do you make this a learning experience from the next game?
I don't think you necessarily look at it like a learning experience. You more so look at it like it's that time of the year. The reality of everything. We're at the back end of the season where every single game counts, whether if it's back-to-backs, whether it's days in between games, whatever it may be. If we got to play against the Monstars, that's just what it is. We got to play. We got to make sure we're trending in the right direction, playing the right way, no matter who we're playing against. So, like I said, it's just that point of the season now where we only got 19 games left, so everything matters.
With you guys not having that long together as a group, what's the process like for finding an identity with a new group of guys, and do you feel like you're at that point?
Every day is an opportunity to figure something out. A day like today, coming in, just kind of getting that feeling from last game off you, working, being around each other. Sometimes it can take a couple laughs, just feeling good about ourselves, before we get back on that court. So it comes in all different type of ways. It could come on this bus ride up to San Francisco, or just coming together, finding whatever we need just to be the best team we need to be tomorrow.
You guys have played a lot slower post All-Star break. Do you think that's a change that benefits you guys, or are you trying to get back to it a little quicker?
Whatever way we play, whether it's fast or slow, we got to make sure it's we making the right reads and executing the right way, and understanding what we could take advantage of, whether if it's fast or slow. I think at times we get caught up in, whether if we're playing too fast or we're playing too slow, not making the right decisions in those moments. So just understanding what needs to be done and how to do it, whatever way we play.
When you've been looking at the Warriors, how different are they between
we looking at them now because we got to play them, but credit to them. It's Jimmy. Everybody understands Jimmy's reputation, who he is. He a winner. You add him with another group of winning guys, that's what you get. But for us, we got to figure out how we can go out there and beat them.
how do you feel, obviously Zach's been kind of getting acclimated a little bit, kind of looking more like his true self. What do you like that you're seeing from him as he kind of gets immersed into this?
Just being aggressive, just him being aggressive, but more so with that aggressiveness, using that to our advantage, how we could create other opportunities for not just himself, but everybody else, with all of us, but, understanding, being aggressive, be free, and with that, that gives us the opportunity to be better at a lot of other areas of the game. So, just him being himself is always beneficial for us as a team.
Is he aggressive enough to your liking?
Yeah, you're going to have plenty more other games where you get hot, where you understand where you get a shot from. Still trying to learn the offense, for him. So once everything get to clicking on a consistent basis, for him, for us, a lot of things will be a lot easier.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Getting maybe Domas back in practice, just how is he looking and maybe how close?
I think he's going to be day-to-day probably as they decide. But I look good to me. I mean, it's just I'm happy to see him out here. Period. So just seeing his face, seeing him smile, get up and down the court a little bit, and shoot the basketball. Like as far as the health and when, I think that's going to be it's going to still be up in the air because those type of injuries, as somebody who has played, when it's soft tissue, sometimes you got to wake up in the morning and see how you're feeling after you stress it. So we'll see.
Jonas has filled in so great, and with Domas, he obviously fills the stat page. But where do you feel is like the biggest area you guys miss his presence most?
I mean, he's talented, man. Like he covers the stat sheet. So, he's going to give you about 20. He's going to give you about 10 and almost 10. Verticality at the rim, late reds on guards because I think he moves his feet better than people think. He stretches the floor at the 5 and shoots the 3 ball. Like Want me to keep going? It's kind of a lot. I mean, we just miss him, his presence, what he brings to the locker room. There's a lot of different things, man, that you miss. It's not just one thing. Even when it's a score, you miss a guy who scores 28 or 30. It's not just that. There's the gravity. There's personality. There's a lot of different things. Yeah.
Doug, how is your restructuring of the coaching staff who's moved up to the front, who's sort of taken on more since you've had, not only Luke leave, but yourself elevated?
I mean, I'm the head coach, so I do everything. I rely on the staff to do a lot of different stuff, but it all falls back on me. So when LB comes back, he will be on the front of the bench, but until then, Jim will be on the front of the bench.
Okay.
From a rotation standpoint, and not knowing how many minutes Delmas is going to have, but you've tinkered with the lineup a little bit with him and Malik out. Moving forward, did you like what you saw from some of the other guys in elevated roles and rotations?
Yeah, I've always been of the mindset that injuries they're a bad thing for the individual, but for the collective team, normally they strengthen you because guys get opportunities. We learn how to play. We see different avenues. We see different solutions to problems. And by the time they come back, we're stronger as a unit. So there was a lot of good. I thought Jake jumped off the screen and did a really good job. Jonas has been spectacular. Keon continues to do Keon things. And, excuse me, even our rookie DC, he got in and he played well. I like what I saw, his aggressiveness, his defense, all that different stuff. Like, he doesn't probably get that opportunity if everyone stays healthy. So I think it makes us a better team and unit sometimes when guys get hurt, unfortunately.
A little time that Derek Carr had in Stockton, you see any big difference in that? You just mentioned, the aggressiveness and all this.
Yeah, well, I talked to Q a little bit and just wanted him to make sure that while he's there, he focuses on running a team and guarding the best player. Because that's when he comes up here, he's probably going to guard the best player and he's going to need to run a team. And whatever, however Q went about it, it was fantastic because when I see him on the court, he looked better. And those are little things sometimes that you just need. It's like, what's my motivation? What am I doing? And for him, it's you make sure you get the team into something, stay aggressive, because you're a rookie, they try to press up on you, go by him, and that's what he's done. But at the same time, he's in a second unit, and in that second unit, we need to make sure that we have some structure and don't turn the ball over. So make sure and get us into something, and then pick your guy up, because with the minutes that you got, we have to feel you. We have to feel your presence. And I thought that since he's come back, and even before he left, I thought that he did that. It's just learning how to run a team after never really being a point guard at this level is difficult. It's not something that people just pick up automatically. There are a lot of nuances. You're trying to think, and you can't really think out there. You just got to know what you're doing. And he looks more and more like he's getting comfortable.
As this group continues to mesh, what do you want the identity to be of this team?
I love beautiful basketball. And that is on the offensive end. But beautiful basketball can be on the defensive end too, because we're switching, we're communicating, we're where we're supposed to be, we're helping early. But then at the same time, I want to hit somebody in the mouth. That we don't get hit first, we hit first. That's who we want to be. And some of what I'm talking about is going to take time because, we're in the middle of the air and we're trying to fix things while the plane's in the air. So, but they understand that, and they're willing to do whatever I'm asking them to do to make it happen to their credit. And that goes for guys who've been in the league 10, 12, 13 years to guys who are rookies and third and fourth year players. They're all on the same page, same paragraph, sometimes same word, but we're working on that.
The Warriors obviously look a little bit different since the last time you guys were in their building. What are you expecting from them and from your guys' side? Like, what expectation do you have from the start of that game to kind of get things going on the right note?
I don't really deal that way. We're gonna bring it. That's what we do. We come into play, and I think historically, for the last few years, because prior to that when I was playing, it wasn't like that. We just went and did what we did. But now they're a different ball club. They're a championship ball club, and you have to bring your A game, and that's what we plan on doing. Is it going to be difficult? Yeah, they're great players in their building, all the different things that come with that. But if we're going to be or ever be what in my mind raises a banner, these are the things that you have to deal with, and you have to deal them with class, and you have to deal with them with a strength and a downhill presence that is uncanny. It doesn't happen all the time. So that means that all the pain, all the sniffling, all the crying, all that has to go out the window, and we lock arms and we go into this building ready to win a ball game.
Going back to what you just mentioned with punching first, who are some of the guys that you feel like do a good job of setting that tone?
I mean, I think I want them all to do that, so it's not really, it's a tone. It's like, it's how I expect us to get down. I don't care who it is. You're not sitting back waiting for anything. We're going to get it. So, I mean, you got Jonas, you got guys who definitely set a presence that way, but he's not always starting. So that doesn't mean that we change our style of play. We're coming to do what we do, and it's going to take a time to get that identity, because at the same time that identity is a little bit scary because you rub people the wrong way, and not everybody is built like that. You know what I mean? Because when you rub people the wrong way, they're going to push back, and if you're not ready to push back after they push back, that's a problem. But I think that the guys they're understanding and they're willing, and that's the first step in the process. And then after you get it and it's automated, then you just do what you do.
It's easy for us to talk about, magnitude of these remaining games and how they'll have a postseason feel. Do you kind of look forward to seeing some of those type of atmospheres as you go forward? Like, are you guys in that mix to where it feels like each game is kind of already a postseason game?
Yeah. I mean, even the way that we plan strategically, I think it takes on a little more one-off each time. Like, can we handle game plan strategy? When we go into a game plan and we're doing things a little different than we normally do, can we lock in and stay focused on those things? That's what the playoffs are all about, because you have your style in game one. Did it work? If it didn't work, how are you going to switch up and tinker with things? How are they going to switch up and tinker with things? When they do switch it, how do we combat that? Like, those are things that we also have to take a 360 view and look down and see how we do as a unit. And it excites me. I mean, it's a lot of fun, because you do a lot of work in the season. You go through a lot of pain. You experience a lot of things to get to moments like this. And when you get to the moment, like, relax and take it in, and just because that's really where we're going to learn the most at, because we get the best version of ourselves.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.